Hello everybody, it's Gloria from GGTheCrochetQueen. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for Dr. Katrina of Mindful Crafts and More for your continued membership. And for my new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. For my returning subscribers, thank you for returning. I had a person on one of my lives, and she asked if I could show how I do a granny square. So I am going to show 3 different ways that I have done a granny square, and you can pick and choose whichever one that you want to use. They're all, lots of people do them different ways, but I'll show you how I do mine. So the first way, and I'll be using a 5.0 millimeter hook. Hope you can see it. Anyway, it's one of my clover hooks. It's the 5.0 H hook. I use the magic circle, magic ring. You can chain 4 and slip stitch to join if that's what you're more comfortable with, but I have been doing the magic circle forever and I prefer it. So what I do is wrap my yarn around like that, and I take the hook under and I grab the one in the back and I take it off of my fingers and do, can I do it? A chain. Now this is just scrap yarn that I'm using, but it's 3-weight yarn. You can use any weight that you want to. This is the scrap yarn that I had, so I'm just going to use the scrap yarn. So you want to do that chain, just holds that in place. So we want to do a chain of 3 and do 2 double crochets. And that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Chain 2, do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. 2 more chains. 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to take my tail and pull that circle close. Do a chain 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch to join in the top of your chain 3. And this is what it should look like. You have a square, so you have your corners, 4 corners. So that is your first round. And as I said, this is the first way that I learned to do it. So what I do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I go back into that last chain 2 space that I made and do 2 double crochets. Then I go to my next chain 2 space and I do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. That's 2 and 3. Go over to the next corner and repeat. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That's 3. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets in the same space. 1, 2, 3. Next corner, again 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, 3. And now where you started, you want to do 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 and slip stitch to join in the top of your chain 3. And that is what it looks like. So that is the first. That is how I learned to do it. Now, sometimes depending on the pattern, you may do a chain 1 and then go to your corners and do chain 1s in between. But otherwise, that is a basic granny square, the first way. Now, I'm going to use this yarn to do it the way I've seen a lot of crocheters do it. It is not my first choice, but I see a lot of crocheters do it. So let's try this one. Again, I'm going to start with a magic circle. This has almost had a knot. Take that out. Okay, again, I'm going to start with a magic circle. Chain 3, do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets, and this will be the same repeat from the first granny square. So I'll meet you when I have my 4 corners. So again, it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2. Okay, so I have my 4 groups of 3 double crochets, and I just did my last chain 2. I am going to pull this close and slip stitch in the top of the chain 3. And this is what some other crocheters do. They slip stitch into the next double crochet, slip stitch to the next double crochet, and then slip stitch into your chain 2 space, chain 3, do 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same space, 1, 2, and 3. Then go over to your next corner and do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and just repeat that pattern around in each corner, and I will meet you at the beginning. Okay, so I have finished all of my corners, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you want to slip stitch to join in the top of your chain 3. So this one I will go another round to show you how it gets bigger as you go. So again, we're just going to slip stitch into the next single double crochet, slip stitch into the next double crochet, and then slip stitch into your chain 2 space, chain 3, do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets, and that makes a corner. Now you are between the corners and you have a space. You want to do 3 double crochets in that space. 1, 2, 3, and do a corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space. One, 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then you're back to another space and you do 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, 3. Now you to a corner, you do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Chain 2, 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. Now you're back to another space. You can do 3 double crochets and 3. Now you're at another corner. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 3 more double crochets into your chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. And you are back at another space 3 double crochets into that space. 3. And then you are at the beginning, you want to slip stitch to join in the top of the chain 3. And that is what that granny square looks like. So this one is slip stitching to get to the chain 2 space, and the previous one is you do your half a corner. So I'm going to put this one aside, and this will be the newest way that I've learned to do it, and you will need a stitch marker for this one. So again, I am going to start with the magic circle. Get me some yarn going. Okay. So you're going to do a magic circle again. Now you want to do a single crochet, chain 1, and put your stitch marker into the chain 1. And do a double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Oof, go around 3. And I'm going to pull this circle close a little. This is way too big. Now you want to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, 3, and then you want to do, I'm going to pull this close some more. And do a double crochet and you want to take out that stitch marker and do a slip stitch into that chain 1 space. I should say into the chain 1. I'm going to pull this close. And then you see you have your 4 corners. Then you want to slip stitch into that double crochet. Okay, so now you want to do a single crochet into your space, chain 1 again, put your stitch marker, and you may need to do this each time, or you may know exactly where that chain is. Do a double crochet, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. Now that single crochet chain 1 is equal to a double crochet in this granny square pattern. And then you're going to another corner, so you want to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That's 3, 2 chains, 1 double crochet, 2, and 3 double crochets. And you've made another corner. We're back to another corner, 3 double crochets, 1, oh, my lighting, 2, 3, and chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. And we'll just repeat again. Go to your next corner and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. Okay, my light is back on. I hope that didn't bother anybody with that flickering. Now we are back to where we started, and you need to do a double crochet into that space. And slip stitch, take your stitch marker out and slip stitch into that chain 1. And that is what you will have. So I'll go around one more round with this one. So we're going to do a slip stitch into that next double crochet, do a single crochet into the space, chain 1, put on your stitch marker, and do 1 double crochet, chain 2, and do 3 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. Then you have this space between the corners here, and you want to do 3 double crochets there. 1, 2, 3. And you're at a corner, so that is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same chain 2 space. That is a finished corner. And 3 double crochets into that next space. And in your next corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And next space is 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And in another corner, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and in the space between the corners, do 3 double crochets. And this is how you expand the granny square. So that is 1. The next round you would have 2 between, and the next is 3, and so on and so forth. So now we're back at that start. We're going to do a double crochet. And remove that stitch marker. And do a slip stitch into the chain 1. And that is what it looks like. And this one, I used it, oh, my circle is opening. That's another reason why people don't like to use the magic circle, but I like the magic circle. There, that shouldn't come out now. So that is, as I was saying, this one I used in, if you watched my video for the pot holder, this is the technique that I use for that granny square. So again, this one has the single crochet chain 1, and then the purple one. Okay, that's the first one, and this is the second one. So to recap, I got strings everywhere, so I don't want to cut it. So the first one is I start with a chain 3 and 2 double crochets to make half of the corner, and then do my corners. And then with this one, you make a complete corner and you slip stitch to join. You slip stitch to the next chain 2 space and make your full corners. And then this one, again, you start with a single crochet chain 1, which counts as a double crochet. You do a double crochet chain 2 and 3 double crochets, and you work your way around, and when you get back to where you are, you do a double crochet, slip stitch to join in that chain 1 space. And this one you will need a stitch marker just to mark that chain 1. So unfortunately I'm very bad with names, so I cannot remember who asked me about doing a granny square, but I hope that this helped her. And if any of you have any questions, let me know. Let me know which one of these you use, or if you do a different way, let me know. And let me know what you think of each one of them. Which one would you prefer to do over the other one? They all have their uses. So that is all for now. I thank you all for joining me. I hope that this was great information for those of you that are struggling with Granny Square. Until my next video or my next live, stay safe, keep crocheting. Bye-bye.